Hello everybody, welcome back to my movie review series. Today we'll be discussing More Big Animals. Watch the Meg. Short for the Megalodon. You know how we do it. Another movie review that nobody's going to watch because I don't have constitutional rights and there is nothing I can do to do anything in my life. And if I talk about it too much, then I get scapegoated, denigrated, disrespected, intimidated, threatened, disrespected every 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. And it's never going to stop fucking happening. So break down another movie. Why not? But give you the logistics, my overall impressions and grade. After that, if you have not seen the movie and would like to, based or not based on my recommendation, you're going to shut off the video because there will be spoiler alerts. We'll be discussing the plot synopsis and character development, and any similar movies or major themes. So what do we got today? Previously thought to be extinct, a massive creature attacks a deep-sea submersible, leaving it disabled and trapping the crew at the bottom of the Pacific. With time running out, a visionary oceanographer recruits rescue diver Jonas Taylor, played by Jason Statham, to save the crew and the sea itself from an unimaginable threat, a 75-foot-long prehistoric shark known as the Megalodon. Originally released August 10, 2018, did $530 million at the box office. Seems to be pretty good. Yeah, it says 78% liked it on Google, 46% liked it on Metacritic, 46% liked it on Rotten Tomatoes, and 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Google says why to watch, thrilling, graphic, and exciting. Rated PG-13, action horror, and an hour and 53-minute runtime. So overall, again, the major theme, the big sharks have been done plenty of times, whether it's been Jaws or I think Deep Blue Sea was another one. But overall, I mean, it had Rainn Wilson in it, had Jason Statham in it. So, I don't know, it was decently entertaining for me. Nothing super novel in the plot, but just, again, like I said, the apocalypse genre and big animals terrorizing. Just anytime there's a breakdown of society is kind of intriguing to me. So overall, a lot of CGI, a lot of animation, a lot of big sharks. I guess just a couple of big sharks. But regardless, decently entertaining for me. So I will give it a B-. So if you have not watched it and would like to, you're going to shut off the video because now we'll be discussing the plot. So the movie opens up. Jonas Taylor, it's Jason Statham's character. He is in the middle of rescuing people in this underwater military submarine. And so there's a lot of dead people. Again, it's PG-13, not super graphic, but a big carnage scene, and he's trying to save as many people as he can. And so he does that. Towards the end, there's one other character on here that I haven't written down or at least didn't recognize. Robert Taylor, maybe, just an old white character. I can't see his name because obviously Google would not list all the characters, or at least let you be able to read them, because that would make way too much sense to have stuff that actually works. But so he has this. He makes an executive decision. Like something starts hitting this submarine that they're trying to escape from or save people from. They've saved like 11 people, and then Jonas Taylor makes the executive decision to just leave. Like it's either everyone's gonna die or they have to leave a couple dudes behind, and so they do that. And one of the guys is really angry with Jonas that he does so. And so after that, you get a 5 year later flash forward, and you have this Rainn Wilson, who is Jack Morris, and he's this billionaire that's funding this ocean venture project. And basically what they're doing is, the premise is the Mariana Trench is thought to be the lowest part of the ocean, and they think that it's just like there's just an ice wall or just like a temperature barrier, and then if they can just go through the temperature barrier, there should be something up below that and just unknown species for like marine biologist research. And so you have a pretty big team there. You have it's ran by Zhang, an older Chinese dude. His daughter Suyin, I don't know, and the granddaughter Mei. But they're kind of working as a family. You have the dude that was mad at Jonas Taylor for leaving the first crew 5 years ago. He was on that crew. He was that guy, and now he's working at this place. And you have DJ, and I don't remember their exact roles, but James Mack something, he also is kind of a leadership role. They have a guy called The Wall. Jax Hurd is also, that's a female, and she's also on there, but just a marine biologist team. And so they have 3 people, a girl named Lori, a guy named Toshi, and The Wall, and they're going down to, again, try to break this temperature barrier and see what's on the other side. So they get down there in this rover, they get through, they see a bunch of new species, and then they start getting attacked by something as well. And so you don't really see the Megalodon until about, 30 minutes, 40 minutes into the movie. But they're down there, their machine suffers some critical damage. It's not completely vital, or they still have oxygen, they just can't move, it's damaged, but it's not like imminently gonna kill them in terms of like minutes, but they have I think 24 hours or something before the machine's gonna fail or gonna run out of oxygen or whatever. So James Mack, again, was friends with Jonas Taylor. There's a question mark because I can't read the whole character name. But what was his name? Decently well-known actor, Cliff Curtis. His character, and so he's like Jonas Taylor's now in Thailand, and they're gonna go, and he's the only person that's ever done rescues at that depth, and so they're gonna fly out and try to convince him. So they fly out there, and he's just like, no, I'm not going to do anything, no, I'm not getting back in the water, enjoying beers in Thailand. And then he learns his ex-wife, the Lori character, was his ex-wife, and she's one of the ones stuck down there. So he agrees, comes on, meets the crew, and again, the one guy that he worked with previously is still mad at him, still thinks that he's just abandoned ship, and there's nothing really down there, and they're just not aware of this big prehistoric shark still alive yet. And so he dies. Well, while they're convincing him, Su Yin decides that there's not much time, so she's going to go down there and tow them out. And so she goes down there with another rover, and she starts getting attacked by something. They think it's a giant squid for a good bit. They see a squid like latch onto their submarine or their submarine ship thing. And then you finally see the Megalodon come by and just eat the whole squid. So they turn the lights off to stop attracting it, and they're waiting for. Well, first I guess they reboot. They get some auxiliary power. The Wall's the mechanic or whatever. They get some auxiliary power. Turn the lights back on. Get attacked again. Realize it's a big shark, and this time it damages their oxygen, so they have even less time. And so now, Su Yin's going down in a little submarine. And Jonas Taylor agrees, and he goes down as well. And so he gets Su Yin to go back up, and he goes down there and starts latches on to this other spaceship that originally they were going to tow, and he's just going to bring them onto his submarine ship now. And so they start doing that. Toshi had written a letter to his wife in case they didn't make it. Lori, when they turned the light on and got hit the second time, she got injured, so she has a screwdriver in her side. So she goes first, and then the Wall gets pushed up there as well, and then Toshi sacrifices himself because the shark is coming once again, and basically just shuts off the connecting valve to where he could get up and walk there after putting the note to his wife in the Wall's pocket, and he gets eaten by the shark. So boom, boom, boom. It's probably about 30-40 minutes of the movie, and so they get back up there. They've lost one guy. And now they're brainstorming about the Megalodon, and they're thinking they're going to go back down there or something, and then hunt it or try to figure out what to do about it. And kind of mourning Toshi's loss. And then Mei Ying, the granddaughter, the youngest lady in the movie, she's walking down just this corridor in this underwater thing, and the big shark comes up and bites it. And so and then Jonas comes running, and Su Yin comes running, and then they see a whale just kind of flopping around, and then they see the whale get eaten as well. So now they've learned that the Megalodon has now broken through this temperature barrier, which we got momentarily allowed for transfer when the ships went through. So now this big shark is now in the open waters that wasn't cut off by the temperature barrier before. And so in Rainn Wilson, the Jack Morris, he is the investor worried about the money. everybody else is kind of just like, not sure what to do or doesn't want to go back down there or whatever. But then again, the shark comes up to them, so now they have to tag it and try to kill it. And so you have a scene, again, bunch of scenes, but Jonas Taylor agrees to jump in the water. He goes in there like without any equipment on. He's got like just like a mechanical pulley rope to attach him to the boat. He swims out there and gets and shoots it with the tracker. Again, an action sequence where it's coming after him. If he swims too fast, it just attracts the attention of a shark, but gets the tracker on him, the shark starts charging at him, and he barely gets swung back up onto the boat. And so they're all kind of on the boat, cheering and excited, and they have just this some substance to kill that poisons or would kill a whale, and they just do a super heavy dose to get the shark. And so both, I think Jonas and Mei Ying, they develop a relationship or liking for one another throughout the movie after Mei Ying didn't like him originally for, allegedly leaving people behind, but now that they've seen these big sharks, they all know he wasn't joking. And yeah. And so he goes in the water, gets it tagged, and then they go underwater to, Mei Ying has to try to shoot it in its eye or in its gills or somewhere sensitive to get the substance into the bloodstream. So now they go back in there, another big action sequence. Mei Ying kind of, her thing gets like punctured, or she goes into this big shark. She goes into a shark cage, which is like polycarbonate or something. And so she's got to shoot the thing. She ends up shooting it. But her tank is getting swallowed, like it's a massive shark, but it's still withholding the bite force of the shark. But now the shark is just trying to swallow the entire thing, and so it rips the crane that's holding the connecting cable off the boat. And Jonas Taylor goes to save Mei Ying, and so he ends up doing so. The shark is really about to eat them both, but then the poison starts kicking in, and the shark dies. And so Mei Ying has lost consciousness. She comes to on the boat. Thanks Jonas for saving her. And definitely starting to like each other now. And yeah, so now they have the shark swung up on the boat. And again, this is only about an hour into the movie, so it's definitely not the end. And so they're posing with it. The wall goes to pose with it. DJ is the stereotypical black guy who can't swim, and it's like, starts joking with the wall, take a picture with it, get closer. The DJ, like moves the shark or something, makes it act like it's still alive, and the wall falls back into the ocean laughing, ha ha ha. And they're all joking and all happy, and then another humongous shark comes up and eats the wall and eats the other shark. So now that there's two big sharks, and so this one's even bigger, and the boat kind of capsizes. It tips over, and during that fall, Zhang gets killed. He suffers some serious injuries, then ends up dying. The guy who didn't like Jonas Taylor at the beginning because he thought he left people behind, him and Jax Herder out there in the ocean, and only one of them, because of this big wreck, the ship is capsized. And so all the people are now in the water, all flopping around, trying to get to safety on the capsized boat. And the guy didn't have a character name, couldn't find it. They definitely said it a couple times in the movie, but he basically sacrifices himself for Jax, and she gets back on the boat. On these little, they have life rafts. And so now Jonas, Suyin, Jax, Jack Morris, Lori, Mei Ying, DJ, and James Mack, they all make it back to their main research facility. And so now Jack Morris lies and said that he's contacted China and Singapore and Japan and whoever. It's not really exactly clear. I'm assuming that region of ocean then. But you didn't really get it clear. It was like what ocean or what's the setting, but somewhere in Southeast Asia. and he says that the military people are going to take care of it. In reality, he has not called anybody. He's the investor trying to keep this as low-key as possible, and has his own team, and they're going to go find and kill this bigger shark. And so they have these just like Semtex bombs that they're going to sink and blow the shark up. They get close enough and they tag it. Like, once again, they tag this big shark again. And so they say they have a visual on it, and that they're not going to, Jack Morris is not getting in within 100 yards of it until it's definitely dead. And so they drop a bunch of bombs on it. It's absolutely blown to smithereens. The dudes in the helicopter dropping the bombs. They get some splashback from the shark, like literally like body parts. And so they go up to approach it, and then they see a bunch of other just like great white sharks, or just other sharks coming to eat the carcass of the whale. Well, they think it's a shark, but it turns out to be a whale. And so the other sharks start eating it, and then they all scatter, again, making clear that there's a bigger predator in the water. And Jack realizes that they killed a whale, which isn't clear as to why they have a bad visual, and think it's with the tag tracker in the shark. So it didn't really make any sense, but they realize it's the whale, and Jack Morris is like, "Get us out of here! The shark's right under us." And the boat takes off, and he just like falls out the back of the boat, and then he climbs up on the whale carcass, and then he gets eaten as well. And so quickly after that scene, Jonas and James Mack, who are friendly and have been friends throughout the movie, they realize that Jack has not contacted any of the authorities. So now they're going to take matters into their own hands and kill this second big shark themselves. So they set up this plan to lure it out there again with another frequency thing similar to yesterday's movie. And the shark is going towards this really crowded beach in Thailand. And so, again, big crowded beach. You know, a lot of people on like rafts and just different floaties and whatever. And the shark starts swimming towards them, and they have this big metal or wooden platforms, that are being anchored down with anchors. And the shark just starts swimming, and there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 girls on one of these things, and 4 or 5 guys on another. And the anchors start getting caught on the shark's fins. So it starts dragging these things, and then they see and someone finally spots the shark. It causes some carnage, eats some people, and they're big scramble to get out of the water. And right when it's about to eat a ton more people, the crew gets this frequency thing going to attract the shark. So the shark gets attracted over towards it, and they're planning to do the same type of thing. And so it's Mei Ying and Jonas in these little underwater rover things that are going to try to kill the shark. And so another big action sequence, and I forget exactly what happens, but I think Mei Ying just kind of work together. But regardless, they can't get it with their original plan or whatever. So Jonas is going to make the thing bleed out. And so he does this maneuver, goes at it head on after getting some jousting, some back and forth, 3, 4, 5 minute action sequence, and kind of flips his underwater rover upside down and just kind of cuts along the entire underbelly of the shark. And so he does that. He also jams a huge metal rod into its eyeball, or Mei Ying does that into its eyeball. And then once it's severely injured, basically a bunch of other sharks come up and eat it and bite at it and end up killing it as well. And so that's really kind of the resolution of the movie. Yeah, there's a lot of action sequences, but I enjoyed it, and I enjoy, again, the apocalypse, or just the society breaking down, or this science experiment kind of going weird, or just, I don't know, I like the genre. So overall, B-, not super entertaining, definitely not novel. Again, you have Jaws, you have Deep Blue Sea, a ton of other movies where genetic animals get out, or something with the genetics of an animal happens, or the history of old prehistoric things haven't died, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know, B-, slightly entertaining. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.